Right, it finally arrived. I sort of tea time yesterday, so I got to start on it this morning. I was saying yesterday I was trying to do as much of the roof as I could. Kind of did it across here, kind of I don't know, trying to take some of the ripples out of it, you know, for where I explained where somebody put some stuff on it. It's kind of kinked it all, made a bit of a mess. Not quite finished yet, levels are not quite down to where they need to be, but you know, we're not far off. I just thought I'll do as much as I can while I waited for the arrival of my wonderful roof. I'm impressed with the roof. You know, come from this company Interfit there, and Interfit, I'm talking about Interfit, it's nothing to do with Interfit, it's Auto Roof, that was it. Auto Roof down in Leicester, by pure, I don't know, coincidence. It's exactly the same from this dimension here to the other side, exactly, and about 10mm bigger from there to there. So Lady Luck kind of swung around to us there, so all we had to do was, you know, there's the template for it over there, which I just I simply laid over where the, well, I've no choice but laid over the top of the roof and kind of place it on top of the existing hole, and obviously just to open it up a bit, but I was kind of constrained to where it where the original hole was, but you know, actually I measured it out, it wasn't that bad. It was just a very poorly cut hole, if you like. It was all over the place. I don't know who did that, but I think he must have had a pie to do before he started. Not a good idea, I suppose. So we just opened it out there and just tried the roof in it. You know, it's just nice. Instructions recommend you've got about a millimetre, you know, side to side, front to back there, just to bed it in, and it's all gone in hunky dory. So that's a lot off my mind now, so we can carry on with this roof. It did kind of knacker me a bit yesterday, but you know, these things happen, so we just have to get around it. So what we're concentrating on today is I'm going to mount the aerial. I bought an aerial there to mount, you know. The reason you're buying these things is we're drilling all the holes. Drilling holes in bodies means that you know, we can paint over them, around them, and keep them nicely sealed up, rather than go drilling into recent paint jobs, which are the unfortunate accidents that can bring. So at the moment what we've got to do is do the hole for the aerial, and also on the back here where the rear valance, where those brackets are there. Now they're what the rear bumper mounts, and they don't come with the drilling in the back there. That's roughly where it is, that bit there. You have to line everything up and drill your own holes. Actually, you drill them oversize to allow for a little bit of adjustment, which is, you know, the right way to do it. Like drill the same size. You're hoping for a bit much there, so you drill them oversize. I think they're 8mm bolts, but I'll probably drill them up to about 13, something like that. Get them done. Unfortunately, the brackets are a little bit, well, not a good fit. They could be made a lot better. And I mean, when I say a lot better, I mean I can adjust them more. At the moment, where I've got them there, they're actually on the maximum of the holes drilled at the factory, if you like, and the brackets don't look too much bent, as though it's had a bit of a bump on the bumper at some time. I think it's just poor alignment, really, when they were you know, drilling them and setting them all up like. But you know, again, we've got what we've got, and it's up to us to deal with it. You know, very often, you know, you can get a few things that go nicely, and other things just have to be adjusted and dealt with. And now's the time. You can't faff about. You've got to get that done now to get them in, and I've got to do that today. And once we've got those two holes in, we're going to bring the roof down to correct level. So it's not far off now, but like, we left it all a bit high because, you know, I thought, well, maybe trying to be a bit cautious maybe, but you know, we don't want a final thing and then find out we've got to do something else. So I've given myself a little bit of leeway there just to finish off. And that's, like I say, what we do today. That's today's mission. And once we've got that doing, then it's a final inspection. You know, to make sure everything is as I want it to be. And then it's just a final rub down on the bare metal surfaces. And on with the etch primer. And the painting begins. I'm not going to how I'm going to do it, but I'm actually going to have it hung really from the roof space to do the full underside, and then put it back on my frame to do the inside and the outsides. That's my plan, but you know, go into that when we start the job, like. But I'll just bob me back on the mount, and then I'll put myself back in the frame. So yeah, I'm glad to see that came, you know. Better late than never, you might say. I would have liked it to come a couple of days ago, you know, because it's kind of made the job, how can I say, instead of finishing stuff off, I've had to start something else to find something to do. So you kind of end up doing this way. You start a lot of jobs and you finish none of them until, you know, the final piece of your jigsaw arrives, which, you know, it's here now. So fundamentally we go around again, just finishing off all the little bits and pieces, you know, heading for this, you know, what I deem to be a final inspection of kind of everything we've done, just to make sure everything is done. I've not missed a little thing that I wanted to do before you apply paint. Again, it's not overcautious. I think it's a good thing to do, you know. You don't want to be halfway through your paint process and think, I wish I'd have done that a little bit more, or I'd have made that a little bit better, or something like that. You want it to be at this bare metal stage, you know, happy to go forward and throw some paint on it. And that's my approach to it anyway. You know, like I say, other people do a different road. I just think it's just a bit of time, just sit about, get yourself a cup of tea, have a look around, make a few notes even. That's a bad thing, make a few notes as you're going along, like, you know, if you see a bit of something there, write it down, put it on your pad, and go around on like a checklist, you know. I did that early on in the process actually. I'm not bothered quite so much now because there's not that many things left for me to do. Just a couple of things I like to do, you know, that might just make it look a little bit better, or you know, a slightest little bit here I'm just looking at there. And, I'd rather see the lip a little bit higher. Well, I'm only building it up with weld, you know, build up, grind back into shape, and I can make that just look a little bit better, you know. And this is not being over finicky, it's just, you know, like I say, if you put paint on that and then you look at it in 2 years' time, you'll just say to yourself, well, you know, I had the opportunity, why didn't I do it? No excuse, you had the time, you had the opportunity, and all the rest of it, but you just didn't do it, and now you're regretting it. So, you know, go round and round and round, do everything you possibly can, make it look how you want it to be, your own standards, you know, presenting your own standards to the world when you're finished, and then and get it painted up, and then any modifications you make from there, which, you know, at some point I shall make to this, you know. I've got plans in the future to upgrade more mechanical things than anything, you know. Drive shafts, I want to investigate that CV joints that they've now come up with for them. I don't think it's as involved as a lot of people think. Okay, so I'm in the trade, it might be a little bit easier for me to see past this, you know, potentially difficult thing, but I don't think that's too bad. I've looked at a few front brake modifications. Maybe even put a dual system braking system on it, that kind of thing. It's not what I want to do now, it's something going forward, but specifically doing it to go forward, you know, as jobs for the future. So, you know, that's where we are up to now. So I think on a case of where we're up to, for this video anyway, I don't think we'll be showing much more, maybe maybe show a quick scan round when I'm finally ready. Bare metal surface is done and sanded up inside, ready for the etch. Other than that, there's not an awful lot to see, so you know, maybe not show a little bit. I think you've seen enough of the bare metal surface already, but we may just do that, and then I think you know, it'll be just showing paintwork, I suppose, and then see how we go on with that. You know, it's not my first paint job. It will be paint job number 3 for me. This will. Lots of people have said, why don't you get somebody to paint it for you, you know, pro? And my answers to that is, you know, it's me what's doing this car, and my paintwork will be my paintwork. It won't be somebody else's. If I make a bit of a, I won't say I'm going to make a mess of it, but I say if I make a couple of things that could have been better, I'll just say, well, you know, that's the best I could do, and it is my restoration. And I did all of it, not just the, I didn't just pay the bills. I restored the car, and I'm going to stand by that, you know, and we'll sort of see what problems that brings. Anyway, I'm just rabbiting on now, so we'll stop the video at that, and just get on with finish those bits off I was just saying. So I'll see you next time, and enjoy yourself, whatever it is you choose to do today. Last day of my holiday actually, but we'll be gone. See you later. Right, here we go. Just decided that I wasn't going to show a video of this bit because I couldn't see anybody be really any interested in watching somebody painting. So I had to think about it, and I thought, well, if I'll just show you where we're up to, as it's all sort of prepared now inside, it's sanded back, bit of filler work to try and get these uneven parts out of the roof where, you know, this sunroof was put in. I left a bit of weakness in the roof and a few kinks in here and there. You can't get them out very easily, but we've not done too bad. It's done with filler. All the important joints, etc., are all lead. I believe filler for these panels is a better medium. Certainly, I don't know, say it's easier to work with, but it's more flexible to try and get, you know, stuff like levels, etc., done on the roof. And any real big flat panel really, and it's perfectly safe on there. You know, it's not much chance of cracking and stuff. And well away from joints, etc. So I've done it in that. But you know, just what I do initially was just sort of take the camera around, show you the you know, all the bare metal strip of it, of what we've done, and all the sanding inside. We've done to flat back a lot of the already put on etch primer, which we, you know, just like I said, I put it on to just protect the metal while we were doing all the rest of the body. And we've flatted that back now to a sort of level where it needs to be, and then we're going to give it another coat of etch, final coat of etch, and we started the paint process after 4 years. 4 years of work, not constantly, had a few breaks, but we're getting to the milestone of getting the paint on it, you know, so better record it, eh? So I'll just take the camera off and we'll go around and a bit of close-up of all the bare metal and paint, etc. As you can see, I'll try and get a little bit of showing a bit. Does it come a bit that way, or is it easy to come that way? Just showing all the way around there, around the top side, some of the lead work that you may be able to make out there. So the panel work on the top there, that's trying to show it's sort of come out a lot better. It's kinked, that's why we had to bring it out. Somebody put some stuff on top of the roof, not heavy, but left it there for a long time, and eventually the roof dropped. So it is what it is. We've got to deal with it the best way we can. Look out there again, just to show all these sections here where all stripped back to bare metal status. Any bits of weld, any old framing all made up, you know, knocking everything straight, welding up any imperfections, die grinding into the nice tight corners, all the necessary. All these little nicks here, which will all come out in the painting process with obviously the layers of primer and the stopper in effect to get it looking something like. Again, a final look at the new petrol filler cap hole that we had to put in. I mean, I think it's almost, you can see obviously where the lead is, but you can't see where the patch will be over there. You know, you won't be able to see that once the paint's on. Quite pleased with that section. And out again, I wish I could learn which way around that goes. And there you go. That's gone up with that roof sections there. On the side, all the bare metals are all around the edges here. And the lines for the corners are notoriously poor on the GT6, that joint what they make on these sills. I don't know why they do it. Probably allows you to give a little bit of I don't know, flexibility as it gets there, and it just comes with a small lip over there. I don't like that, so it's welded up and a straight line put in it. I believe that to look better. Again, so I'll just show inside where, pan out a little bit, show where we sort of sanded all back there to get a lot of the early primer off there. And you know, try to do a bit of imperfections of that, because you know, you keep looking for imperfections all the way, because you never know where they might crop up. But if you're just looking around there, it's a good time to find them. So I'm doing that. On the side here, all this bulkhead here, we had to rebuild all this bulkhead. This sort of area down here you can't buy, and we had to cut all that out on both sides to get it back in. You know, all this section here is all you know, new metal. Obviously that isn't. I also had to put new metal in there to get all the right shapes. It's not an easy thing to do. Not overly difficult, but not an easy thing to do. But a little bit there that I'm not impressed with. I'll pick up a little sando for that before we go any further. And there, the top of was kind of okay. The worst problems you have with these old cars is this small bits of pitting where the paint had come off and just left, and it doesn't rot through so much, but it just leaves these little pits on the inside there, and that's how it is. See that, put it back on the stand. We can get around there, show a little bit more of the car. So yeah, I just noticed that there. Can't help looking. If you look around your car, keep looking. So you'll see what I'm looking at there. Right down a bit there, because I kind of show you the area I'm doing. Just see a little piece here down this front section here. Somewhere along the line we missed. Better, it wasn't much, but you know, melt makes a difference. I went back up again. No, like I say, you keep looking around your car, don't you? When you think you've finished your prepping, go around again, and again, and again, and again, till you get fed up. Sometimes even it pays a bit to get somebody else to have a look around it as well. You know, ideally somebody who knows what they're looking at, who can you know, cast a critical eye, because there's little bits and pieces that you think you've done and dusted, but you missed. So you know, the more chance you keep going around and around, the more likely you are to pick it up. And at this stage, it doesn't matter, because you just carry on prepping, aren't you? But I'm pretty happy now where we got to. So I'm glad I've just seen that little bit, dealt with it. So what we're going to do now is just get some rags. I'll show you. I'm not going to be doing the whole thing because it seems a bit silly. What we've got to do now is panel wipe it down. What I'll do first is, in the dustier sections, you just give it a wipe, just to get it off, as much as you can. All your areas, and these outside bits, you know, not to be quite so worried about the inside, but, you know, like I try and put through my videos, that, you know, it's not as important doing the inside, but it is important, you know, it's important because it makes a better job even if people never see it. You'll always know it's there. So all we're doing is get the worst of it off. Any dust, say this is not a spray booth, I haven't got a spray booth. I'll show you a video of how I do my finishing coats. My finishing coats, I'll have my homemade spraying area, which fundamentally is all align all the complete ceiling with a plastic, and nothing extravagant, all this kind of plastic you use for masking off, that kind of thing. You fasten that all around and it clips completely all down, all around all the walls, all get the same treatment. It's all pinned into the timbers, and keeps the majority of the dust at bay. You're not going to get a completely dust-free environment here because it's not a full spray booth. But we haven't got one, so all we're doing is coming up with the best we can. And the best we can will have to be good enough. And you know, if you haven't got £4,000 or £5,000 for a professional body shop paintwork, then you just have to do what you can. And you know, I spend a bit of time lining all my workshop. It's all disposable when I'm done, I'll chuck it away. And it keeps you know, the majority of what I'm trying to do. I want to get them dirty if you can help it. I've already been around with a hoover, vacuum cleaner, blowing bits of dust out of any pockets, etc. That was nearly an hour's process. Again, time doesn't matter to us, we're hobby guys. Professionals have to, you know, get the finger out a little bit more. Like I say, we're not, we're hobby, and we can afford to take our time making things right. You know, we can make an excuse for some things, but one thing we can't say is we ran out of time, because we've got time. You know, I don't need to rush it. Say 4 years and just painting. Not worried about that fact. I'm painting it now because it's about ready now. You know, so. Fiddly. Like I say, this is all the boot liner. Not a seen item. Well, no matter, does it? We can make sure, even though it's under the carpets and under the Dynamat flooring, what I'm putting in, can never be seen. I'll know it's right. If you watch the video, you'll see the same thing. going around it, and as much of the dirt, any dust, any particles. And then, right, that's that bit. We'll move on to this now. Panel wipe. Now I kind of use this method of doing it. A little sprayer. Turn it on first. I think it does a better job doing it like that than just trying to soak your rag in it. Because I can get a bit more on. I'll do around this front here first. Kind of show you what we go about doing it. If there was any grease on there, or any contaminants, you know, we've got a good chance we've got them all off. Like I say, this is the way for me. A lot of people just put it onto the rag and wipe it off. Nothing wrong with that. Start sooner do it this way. Still over here, you can't see me over here, but while I'm doing this sort of sections here, I'll just finish it off. And then right, so we've got a clean rag now. I've got that front bit off, and like I say, it's on this top bit here what we'll be doing. No matter how many times you wipe it, you still get a little dirt all over you. I know we're putting Etch primer on it and it bites into it. It still needs a good surface to stick to. Not to do it, it's just madness. Right, well, you've seen what I'm up to. There's another half an hour of that, so no point in watching me go around anymore. So I'm going to pause, and we'll come back to it when we're ready.